Hello, and welcome to the long-awaited episode 99 of the Book Wars Pod. I'm Kate, and I'm here with the full crew for once in our lives, it seems like the past few weeks. We've got...
Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
Kristen's here, and she's got a new toy.
I got a new toy, y'all. And by that I mean I finally got the correct wire to plug my fucking phone into the fucking mixer. And now I'm a troll and no one can stop me.
Oh my god. So Kristen's here. The air horn noise for realsies is here. Chris is 50% here because he's kind of sick. And of course we have Miranda.
Should I be offended that the air horn gets higher billing than I do?
He's got higher billing than me, too, if it helps.
Is it wrong?
Probably not, but still, guys.
Guys, they're all good air horns.
God damn it. All right. So we have not recorded in a bit because life happened to like every single one of us.
Yeah, last week sucked.
So we're gonna go around. What are you drinking and what the fuck happened to you?
Sure.
Yeah.
If you heard the last episode, you heard that I was basically dying. And then I somehow got worse. So then they gave me, if you know anything about antibiotics, they gave me 10 days of doxycycline, which is a lot. That's the same thing they gave me when I had pneumonia.
Oh, fuck me.
And codeine, cough syrup. So I was, yeah, that was fun. And then I got a dog, a puppy, actually. So, yeah. I'm really tired. But I'm great.
Potato.
I'm having Rainier because I'm technically still on meds for however many days.
Oh my God.
Quinn was also had the plague, but he finished his already because his plague was apparently half the plague of my plague.
Rude.
I do appreciate that you're on antibiotics, so you're going to go non-alcoholic with a nice Rainier.
That's right. Exactly right. He gets me. What are you guys drinking?
Well, I have still a fucking lemon Trader Joe's brand White Claw.
My goddamn fault.
Laws.
Shut up. I just woke up from a nap and I have not eaten dinner yet. And if y'all have any idea of what time we record these things, I'm just like, let's not have the full ass beer that I have in the fridge, unfortunately for me.
Yeah,
Do it.
that was our theory. We were like, "Ooh, I bet Kate and Chris are napping."
I was awake, let it be known.
Awake and not responding to our texts.
Yes, thank you,
Yeah, well.
garbage boy.
He's a garbage man in a garbage can.
It's true. Much like his most favorite of all Star Wars characters. And the reason
Chris-
why we...
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, Chris, you best be drinking tea.
Yeah, I'm drinking Irish breakfast tea from Stash Teas in Portland.
It's actually the rosebud flavor
Blah blah blah.
from Rose City. Haha.
It is?
Yeah, because I
That's
made
right.
new tea.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I made Irish breakfast tea this morning. That shows you where I'm at.
Yeah, so
Good.
super good.
Chris is tired.
So Chris is sick from... I honestly don't know how the fuck you would have gotten sick. You like licked a light pole when I was looking or
Yeah,
something.
how is this? I don't go outside.
It literally, this is bizarre.
Somewhere between my bed and my desk, I got sick.
I don't know. Maybe the dog we
Yeah.
had to give back coughed on you. So the reason why we've been dead on our end is because I started school this week. Last week was orientation. Everything is very emotionally draining because I haven't done school in 6 years and I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, even though I probably do. And I am also, in case y'all didn't know, teaching children. I am teaching under... I know. My children.
The child and the child and the child.
Yeah, just do that.
That's a great throwback, Chris.
13 more times. I'm teaching approximately 16 children because somebody drop my class, and hopefully the 2 other kids never show up, because the smaller my class is, the better. Because I'm teaching intro to creative writing, and it's a workshop class. I've never taught before.
At this difficult time.
Yeah. Never taught before. I'm teaching 3 times a week for about an hour a piece, and yeah, I hope my kids never find this podcast, because I literally have no idea what I'm doing. I did not tell them I was a first-year MFA. I did not tell them that I'd have no idea what I'm doing. So hopefully, maybe they are adequately fooled. But yeah, orientation was before that. In the midst of orientation, we, as you know, were trying to adopt a dog. We were trying to adopt one dog who was disabled, and unfortunately turned out he was like too disabled for us to adequately care for with the resources we have. So then we tried to adopt another dog who also turned out to be too disabled for us to adequately care for with the resources we have. Except that dog we took home, and so he was with us for 3 days, and then we had to give him back, and we cried. Yeah, and then we cried a whole lot, and now we're here and we're sad.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
back.
that was one of the less pleasant experiences in my life.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
We love you.
Thanks. Miranda, how are you?
I'm better than everybody else, apparently.
Right?
Like, I don't think I actually had
Miranda's
anything
fucking
last.
flying high compared to us.
Oh, God.
Oh, you were just had like a busy social schedule last week.
Yeah, I was just like out doing things.
Yeah, busy sales schedule. I love you,
Having a
Burp.
cute girlfriend and going camping and shit.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
how
did
was
not-
camping?
I did not get eaten by a bear.
That's positive. Were
Yeah.
you warm?
Yes, I have a
Good.
sleeping bag, and I had layers, and that it got too warm, so I had to take my, because I was like, oh, I'll wear my sweatpants. Like I was told to dress in layers when I sleep, because it gets cold at night.
Sure.
And then my sweatpants were making me way too hot on the bottom, so I had to take them off and like do that.
Oh my God.
This is Miranda's qualms from last week, as she had to take her sweatpants off.
Wow.
I love my sweatpants; they're very comfortable.
Wow.
But yeah, otherwise I was functional. The last
Good.
couple of nights I have not been.
Yeah,
I've been a sleepy burb.
yeah.
Aw.
You'll never guess, but having a puppy is fine.
Like having a
Does
baby.
he bark?
He doesn't know how to bark yet,
Oh.
but he's
Good.
getting there.
Oh.
He almost barked today.
So yeah, he's been.
Oh.
He's
Baby's
getting there.
first words.
Yeah, I mean, I should not complain. All things considered, he's amazing. He's sleeping through the night and is not peeing or pooping in the house. So
Oh, good.
Wow.
better than
great.
better than me.
Yeah.
Not sleeping through the night.
I was about to say, do you also?
Yes,
Pee in
I
the
also
dining
I
room?
also pooped on my bed today. No, I did not. No, that was one time.
Oh my God.
Oh, audio housekeeping. It's hot as a fucking nutsack in Portland right now. So
Ugh.
if you hear background noise, it's because we have all of the windows open because we don't have air conditioning in our house. So
Yep.
yes, and we live on like kind of a busier thoroughfare. So sorry. Hopefully the mics aren't picking them up because they're nice and you guys bought them for us, the
Yeah, thanks.
listeners.
Thanks, y'all.
Hashtag Patreon is great for us. Anyway, I just wanted to give that housekeeping because I'm editing this and I'm a lazy shit. So, great.
I am drinking a Ready Player One by
fuck off.
Level Beer. I've had it on the podcast before. It's a saison. It's a Portland beer. It's delicious.
Yummy.
It is good. Good talk, everyone.
Ooh, I have a bear story.
Oh, bears.
Yeah, because
Like the gay ones or the ones in the woods?
oh no, the ones in the woods. So
Okay.
so it's my first day of orientation, and we're on a break in between informational sessions, and so we're sitting in the student lounge, and I'm having a conversation with the grad student who's in charge of all of us who are teaching, and we're talking, and so I'm very engrossed in this conversation. She's the only one facing the window, and all of a sudden she goes, "Holy shit, a bear!" And I was like, "Excuse me?"
Huh?
I turned the fuck around, and literally there is a black bear approximately the size of a smart car, literally galloping across like the small quad next to the English building.
I have questions. Mainly, am I going to get eaten by a bear?
Probably not.
Okay.
Black bears are just like dogs, kind of.
I'm not going to treat a black bear like a dog.
I mean,
You just make a lot of noise with them, and they're just like, "Oh shit," and they run away.
That's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
like dogs. I'm not wrong. Grizzly bears are the ones you have to fucking worry about.
Yeah, it's true.
And polar
We live a
bears, but
solid
those are
like
less
15
frequent.
minute like jaunt as the bear runs from campus. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's
I love
it's,
it.
It's all fine. Probably we're just having a lot of bears come down from the mountains this year, and I don't know. They're around, but they haven't eaten anybody certainly yet. The mountain lions, on the other hand. Anyway, let's talk about Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
headline.
Welcome to living in nature, y'all.
It's weird.
Even though you're in a city, we have that here too. It's fucking wild times.
Literally wild times.
Yeah, the mountain lion thing doesn't surprise me because they just kind of go where they want.
That's true.
But like, weird.
The coyotes.
Like, it's not
of
like
the...
we're in Boulder, but like, or excuse me, it's not like we're in Denver. Like, we're in a solidly suburban area, but it's not a rural area.
Okay, but like proximity to the mountains is pretty fucking close, dude.
Okay, but that bear had to go through several neighborhoods to get onto campus
Yeah.
from any direction.
He was looking for garbage, Chris.
He-
Haven't you ever seen
was.
Blackbird? They go and like fucking swim in people's above ground pools. Like
Uh-huh.
this is not.
they're just hanging out.
They like if there aren't people around, they're like very curious little creatures. They're
Aw.
very funny.
The best part of the bear sighting was that approximately 2 minutes later, you just saw like two campus like police kind of speed walking in the direction the bear went, and we're all just like, "What do you think you're gonna do?"
What
Like,
are you guys gonna do?
I know.
They're gonna make loud noises and scare it away.
Oh my
That's
god, the
right.
bear was already running. The bear
No.
was exiting.
He's a galloping bear.
Yes, exit. No one followed by bear because he didn't care.
By the way, Kate, did you knock all your kids in your class down a level by like calling them all the same name?
I did not, but it's really tempting because my class is probably more than half white boys, and they legitimately all look the same to me, and it's a real problem.
Just pick like a good gender neutral name and
Oh
just
my
call
God.
them all that. I think it's fine.
It's my class is all also
Or, like, Number
mostly
them.
boys. Oh my god,
I would just say champ.
Champ.
that's incredible.
Yeah,
Or-
that's
or
a power
bro.
move. Don't call any of them by their names. Just come up with like
Bro.
parental nicknames. Sport.
Or do like red shirt.
Oh my god.
At least the
I mean,
ones
that's
you don't
what
like.
I would do. God forbid I ever go to grad school and have to like TA or teach or whatever. I'm like, I don't even remember names of characters in books I read. So, and there are only ever like 5 of them. And they're mostly people I've met before.
We're gonna see if these kids can remember the names of people and books they read, because they had reading to do for tomorrow, and we're gonna see if they did it. It's a good time.
Do your reading, kids. Don't be like me when I was in college.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
fucking
turns out
god.
that reading before your classes makes you get better grades in the classes.
I'm not reading for class. I'm here to write a book. I got to lie. I did read for class today, but only because
That's right.
it wasn't a lot.
Should we Star Wars now that we're 75 minutes in?
Sure, if we
Great.
must.
Must we? I know we're just bullshitting. We saved all of our bullshitting for recording in the beginning of the podcast instead of doing our normal bullshitting at the beginning. We were like, oh guys, I haven't talked to you. What's going on?
Well, you always tell us no talking off pod.
Okay, that's
That's
correct.
It's been a quiet 2 weeks in the Cedar household.
just periodic sobbing about the dog, and that's all you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you guys are hopefully gonna get a dog. I'm knocking on wood. I'm not knocking on wood. Miranda, don't actually knock on wood. I was gonna say I'm not knocking on wood because it's an audio.
It's an audio.
Fucking Christ on the cross.
Oh my
I knocked on wood.
god.
Okay. So we finished Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray.
Yes.
Is this the first Claudia Gray book I didn't cry in? Answer yes.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
this one
sense.
isn't really a crier.
No, it's not. Oh, right. Yeah, I don't think I even said. We're talking about Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray, chapters 26 through the end of the book.
That's fine.
Anybody want to talk about Rail and how fucked up he is?
He is so fucked up.
Oh my god.
Somebody wrote, "What's Fanry to him?" I assume this was Kate because it's a good question. What's Fanry to him? Is she a replacement for Nim? And I wrote, "I don't know, but it's not good."
He has a very unhealthy relationship with Fanry
And also everyone.
because he's trying to replace
yes.
the girl he killed with another girl who people keep trying to kill.
It's complicated.
It's the plot really thickened up quite a bit at the end here. It's just got all wild and crazy.
Hey, I followed it, which is
That's good.
crazy.
Different
I
and
was
good.
I understood what happened. Whoa, a twist. A twist both in the book and in me understanding it.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
yeah. So
he's traumatized.
extremely. So as you know, this is not a spoiler-free podcast. So Fairy kind of like went full fucking megalomaniac at the end of this book. She was hiding it really, really well, and then she just went and was like, "Hello, I am your absolute ruler. Fear me."
Yeah, she is cuckoo bananas.
She is on that power trip.
She's
I really appreciate though that like there's that scene with like between Qui-Gon and Minister Orth or Governor Orth by the end, and she doesn't try to be like Fanry was just looking out for everybody. She was like, no, she could have actually done this if she'd cared. It was just about her.
Yeah, also she's like 14, so I can't even imagine the kind of disaster that would have been.
Oh my god, tell me
I don't
about
know.
it.
She probably would have been a better ruler than fucking Dooku.
She wouldn't have-
Useless.
She's no Padme though, I'll tell you that.
Correct.
Nobody
yeah, I
is
was gonna
Padme.
say.
No Padme, she's no Brea.
Yeah, I take that back. I have no idea whether or not she'd be better or worse than Dooku, but they both seem evil and shitty. So
Dooku seems competent though.
yeah, but like
Fanry's 14, and she's like, what if I just control everything?
it's true. I don't know. We'll
How
get
much
into
of-
that maybe in the wrap up or some shit. Dooku's
Right.
dick.
How much of Fanry going on her little power trip do you think we can attribute to her upbringing? Like, is this like teenage rebellion, or like what is it? And I guess corollary related to that, she as we were saying, she accuses Rael of using her as a replacement for Nim, and he says, "No, I was here raising you. I was taking care of you. Like, this is not true." Which one of them is correct?
Neither one of them.
Poor Countess Bofa.
Yeah,
I mean, I
neither
think
in
she's
both.
definitely correct in that Rael never actually considered her needs.
Yeah, or that she had a brain.
Yeah.
She's correct insofar as Rael never went to fucking space therapy to address his trauma, and
Mhm.
probably PTSD.
Yep.
So that didn't go great for those of us who were. Never mind. I'm not gonna make a disparaging comment about my parents at this present moment, but y'all get the idea.
Do.
No one else can relate to this on that podcast.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely
that
not.
on this podcast.
La la la.
Word order. Anyway, everything is fine. Apparently my parents told their pastor about this podcast because she's a Star Wars nut. So
Oh
Oh,
god.
if you're
no.
listening, I am so sorry. Please don't tell my parents.
Oh, no.
Also, don't tell them how to find podcasts. But if you listen to this, just like we can talk later. I don't know you, but Instagram message me. We can talk. Please
Slide
don't.
into her DM.
Yeah, slide in my DMs.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a lady, and I think we're letting queer people in. I don't fucking know what they're doing. Anyway, the Methodists are a thing.
This
is
can be cool, man.
sorry. I know. Sorry. I this went off on a tangent. My parents are not cool. Bringing it back around, much like Rael.
Pow, pow, pow.
Miranda, when
Sorry.
I'm gonna do the air horn,
It was
you should
taking you too
do
long.
the air horn.
Oh
You didn't have it ready.
I know.
god.
Yeah, but also I think that Fanry, it's not just like privilege because it is a little bit like I feel as though the constitutional monarchy stuff kind of has come up more recently, and there's the long history of the regular monarchy. But I think more than that, she just has like this teenage arrogance.
Mhm.
Like, it's not necessarily hormonal. It's just like when you're a teenager, you're like, everybody's fucking stupid. Like, I don't need you to tell me what to do or what's a good idea. She's like, oh no, this is it.
God, I hated being 14, but I guess if people were like building me up, I would have been really fucked. I mean, like I was fucked up, obviously, but like I had no self-confidence. I was on the other end of this spectrum. So, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna ask a really stupid me question. How old was she when her parents died?
Really young.
She was super
6.
young, right? So like
She was 6.
maybe we can talk about this more on this is more of a wrap-up question, but like when did she turn evil? Like what the fuck? Like was she like is she like a little sociopath like this whole time?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think we can. I think that's a pretty easy question to answer, honestly. At least the second part of your question, because by the end of the book, Qui-Gon goes to talk to Orth, and she's like, "Yeah, she's feeling some remorse. Like, oh, I just tried to fucking like do a coup on myself, like, you know."
Hashtag self-coup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As one does when they're 14. I don't know. I think like they seem to think that she can be rehabilitated with some proper education and maybe scrubbing the floors with a toothbrush a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, what 14-year-old hasn't wanted to be a warrior queen though? Like it's
I mean, did I want to be Xena when I was 14? Totally.
So did Chris. I know.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I wanted to be gay. That's true. Go on.
You
Achieve
did
your
it,
dreams,
Kate.
Congrats.
Childhood dream of being gay.
I wish that had been my childhood dream.
It wasn't quite, but you know, there's a reason why I enjoyed Xena, and it wasn't just because it was awesome.
She's
It
gonna
was
be in
awesome in
Resistance
so
this
many
season.
ways.
But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like she's not Kylo Ren. Like, I don't think she's gone like full crazy dark side. Why does the universe hate me?
Not full trash, baby.
Not full trash baby.
She doesn't have a mask of her grandparents that she talks to
Yeah, I
about her
Presumably.
problems.
Technically, we don't know that's not true.
Okay, that's true.
um,
Headcanon. She
yeah.
has a mask that her grandparents wore that she talks to.
Oh my god.
but yeah, like I feel like it's just kind of a perfect storm of she's probably like a little bit crazy, but like then Rael just like pissed her off by not including her in anything, and she's like really inquisitive and thinks that she could do a better job, and then like she probably read about some fucking like coup 500 years ago or some bullshit.
Fucking kids today. I don't know.
Yep.
Gen Z making me scared. No, I'm kidding.
She is what?
Whatever
She's
the fuck.
14. Obi-Wan's 17. She's not that young galactically.
Yeah, but still. I'm sorry. I'm just afraid of children right now because I have to teach them, and
I mean, that's fair.
they're so
It's
impressionable.
relatable.
Yeah, always.
Were y'all surprised when Rael decided to go back to the Jedi at the end?
That dude is fucked up, man. I don't know. I wouldn't have been surprised if anything. Like they could have been like, and then he shot himself off into an in an escape pod into the ether, and I would have been like, yeah, it checks out. Like, I'm
Fair
like, I don't
enough.
think like he had anything left to live for, and he was just like, what the fuck ever. At least they'll give me like free lunch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, always going for the free lunch, but also
Am I wrong? Like,
True.
Uh, it's also like the only thing he's ever really known. Like he joined the order when he was what, like 5? So minus those, few years when he was a child. Like he's this middle-aged dude now. Probably. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And like even the last few years that he's spent with family, like he's still a Jedi. So like what the fuck else is he supposed to do?
I mean, he could have went to go hang out with Dudu on Sereno. He like the Jedi.
Yeah,
like
I guess that's your counterpoint. I'm like, what are we talking about?
right.
Oh yeah, he got asked to like go be
Dooku's cockroach.
essentially an evil Sith Lord.
Yeah, origin of interest.
And he was like,
Who
nah.
says no?
Ugh,
Yeah, I mean,
does that mean
I was a
Fenris is
little-
second fiddle? Because that's hot bullshit.
Yeah, true. I wasn't really surprised just because I don't think anything he did was ever driven by like anger or like a desire for power. Felt like it was driven by guilt, which is like gets you to the dark side in its own way, but I feel like his guilt kind of drove him to never really grow up because he was never held accountable for his actions. And so even though Dooku was kind of a father figure, the Jedi were the actual structure that he knew of. And like what Dooku was offering him was in its own way actually really risky and entirely new and scary. Whereas he's kind of like this broken, chastised man that is kind of going home with his tail between his legs, not looking for his next adventure.
He just wants his free lunch.
Just wants his free lunch.
Thoughts
we
and
all?
prayers if like the structure of the Jedi is what sounds good to you.
Yeah.
Yoda is bad.
Taco
I
Tuesday
wrote
at the
that-
temple's legit though.
I wrote Yoda is bad in the outline, and then I wrote too Yoda too curious later in the outline because
my
I just
fucking
want to
God.
point out how bad Yoda is.
Yoda's the goddamn worst.
So
If
fucking
you
bad.
haven't heard earlier episodes of this, it's mostly just us bitching about how dumb Yoda is. But like that's also every episode of this podcast and every
mean-
story where he comes in. So
I mean, if he didn't act like a fucking fool all the fucking time, then maybe we wouldn't spend so much time talking about how much
Dragging
he
him.
sucks.
mhm.
Can I do a little hot take? I enjoyed him appearing in Last Jedi, and I said last
Yes.
episode that I actually really like his appearance and his like worldliness because now he's dead. But if I don't see Yoda in canon again for a while, I'm gonna be super okay with that. Thank you, Kristen.
It's a good take.
Oh, we watched that part of The Last Jedi last night,
Yeah, we sure did.
and I like him in that because he's like crazy Yoda from Empire Strikes Back, and not the
Crazy
sequels.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Crazy Yoda's the best Yoda.
And he just
Changed
kind
my
of
mind.
giggles and like,
Wait, so do we know who saved the ancient Jedi texts? Because aren't they in the Falcon somewhere?
Ray,
Ray
took him.
him.
Okay,
Mhm.
but like when?
Presumably on her way back to the Falcon while Luke was sulking on the stairs.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
It's not explicit, but
this has been Chris and asks obvious questions about movies that came out several years ago.
that we watched the last 2 nights.
I really want to watch Last Jedi. Let's do that this weekend.
I know. We
Let's
watched
introduce the new
it.
puppo to Star Wars.
Yeah, we watched
Oh.
it, and I was like, why don't I watch this more? Because I've seen The Force Awakens no fewer than probably 900 fucking times. And I'm like, I really should watch The Last Jedi more. It's very good. like,
Yeah. I've not seen The Force Awakens all that many times, honestly, but I've seen The Last Jedi very many times. 'cause
Okay,
it's so
yeah.
good.
we need to like, I mean, not that you need to watch The Force Awakens more, but like, that used to be like when me and Miranda would just like sit down to watch a movie or like put something on instead of like watching a TV show like a normal. We would just put The Force Awakens on. So
I mean, why not?
what the fuck ever.
That's a good one to have on in the background. Like,
if you
uh,
know it really well, it's just like it's so soft and BB-8's there and it's great.
it's true.
With all the Rise of Skywalker stuff coming out these days, it's very like trendy on Star Wars Twitter to not like Last Jedi. And there's plenty of people have very legitimate reasons of their own why they don't like Last Jedi. I'm not denigrating those.
Chris, you're just mad that people are mad online, so you're gonna be mad online about them being mad online.
No, that's the thing though. I'm not even mad. It's just people are complaining makes it sound unwarranted. People are explaining why they don't like it, and every time I see one of those like tweets or threads or whatever form it takes, I'm just like, yeah, that wasn't what I got from this movie, and I just love it even more.
It's so good.
I really like it.
Cool. So I had one more like, I guess, discussion question. I'm gonna be talking like a teacher now. I'm so sorry, everybody. About Rail, and it's that obviously he is a giant fuck up who has a lot of problems and needs to go to space therapy. And a lot in the book is made of the fact that he was brought into the Jedi Order relatively late, at, all of 5 years old. As we have said before, Anakin was like 10, so...
And nothing bad happened with that.
Oh no. But how much do y'all think that the Jedi's reluctance to take Anakin in, even though he was a magical space Jesus, was influenced by kids like Rail?
I mean, they certainly learned they didn't learn their fucking lesson because they let him in.
Nah.
But,
Yeah.
they've seen what happens when you do that. And even if it's just kind of like a one-off situation, he still had his accent, and he still very much had, a kind of individuality that I'm sure the council wished he didn't have.
AKA not bathing and just wearing, I just, picture him wearing, a sheet. Just, a ratty
Talk shit about me.
I know. It's same, honestly. I was Miranda was talking about putting an order in to order some clothes, and I was like, can you let me know if you do that? I need to get some new jeans. And she's like, why don't you just order them? And I'm like, because I won't do that. I won't get new things that I'll only get new things that are fun. I won't get new things that make sense for me to get.
No, I'm the same way.
Work clothes or nice shoes. I'm like, what if I get a toy?
I was gonna say, what if I get even more stuffed animals?
What if I get even more things for my dog? That is my new thing. I'm like, what if he likes this one thing? What if I get him more of that thing? He doesn't give a shit about anything. He would rather just bite the couch, honestly. If we've learned one thing about him.
He's a bitey boy.
Yeah, well, he's a puppy. That's gonna happen. Yeah.
I do
don't
enjoy, to
think-
get back to the actual question,
Yeah, sorry.
how often Yoda actually gets outvoted. Didn't want Qui-Gon on the council. Whoops. Don't care, Yoda. Didn't want Anakin trained. Whoops. Don't care, Yoda.
Okay, but the fucked up thing is the times when he's outvoted, I'm like, it's 50-50 that he was right, and that's the only time he's ever right.
Yeah.
But it's everybody else knows how much of a fucking dumbass he is.
But
And they're
they
like, no,
don't.
Yoda,
They
you're
still
dumb.
they still talk about. They still act with such. I don't know. Do you think they can act with the deference they being just the Jedi in general and the Council especially? Do you think that they can be so? Is deferent a word, Mom?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Do you think they can be so deferent but still think that he's a fucking dumbass?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's been around for a million
that was a
years,
real
all of
question.
them
I
are-
don't fucking know.
Well, it's
Very
like
familiar with
the old man who you're like, oh, he has the experience and we all respect him, but Jesus.
He's kind of racist.
Yeah, right. I was about to say, Yoda is that old white man CEO. God damn it.
Okay, perfect.
He starts talking about the arachnid people, and everybody just puts their hand on their forehead, looks somewhere else.
Shut,
Oh my
Yoda.
God.
We've been the fuck over this. Shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So now we can talk about prophecies, if we like.
Do we have to? Qui-Gon, he done fucked up.
So, all right.
Sorry.
So-
Just don't tell your fucking person to do shit on your deathbed. That's not fair. I'm mad at him still about that. Even
I mean,
He's
though
mad at
I
him
love
too,
him-
to be fair.
I
Yeah.
know, fair. All that's fair.
when
Oh,
you're mad
that
at
was
yourself
the-
from behind the grave.
That was the cry worthy moment in this book. That's fair too. That's as close as I got to crying was in
Yeah,
that part.
I got a little choked up with the epilogue. It was just
Yeah.
that was so fucking
I
soul destroying.
was like, how?
Jeez.
I've seen this played out in a movie, and still, how dare you?
I know. I just, it would be so good, honestly, to have Claudia Gray write a little bit for the Kenobi show. Just a dialogue between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, or even a dialogue where Qui-Gon, like at the beginning of Obi-Wan's exile, he just doesn't talk to him. Like he's just like talking into a void. Like I would love that monologue so much. So
Give it to
that
me.
would. I know that one's free for you, Lucasfilm, to steal.
Oh god, I'm either gonna love that show or hate it, and there's no in between.
Yeah, I don't really was there a trailer or was there something?
No, they
No,
just announced
God,
that it existed.
I'm so bad at keeping up with Star Wars stuff. Thank
there
God
was
for this
a
podcast.
Mandalorian trailer. Have you seen it?
No, absolutely not. I saw it come out. I saw everybody lose their fucking shit about it.
Did
You
you
know-
see the sizzle reel for Rise of Skywalker?
Yes, we
Okay,
watched that.
I was gonna say that you actually need to see.
that we've watched a good number of times, and we put
Good.
it on the big TV. So
Good,
yes.
good.
Don't worry about that. Yes, one of our soccer friends actually. I'll retweet it because it's kind of funny, but she sent us a GIF. Somebody photoshopped a GIF of Rey opening the red lightsaber, but it's like a Swiss Army knife.
Oh, I saw that.
It's very funny.
That's my favorite
If
thing.
Mom feels like it, she'll retweet it from the pod account. I don't retweet anything from the pod account because it gets me into trouble.
I don't read.
Yeah,
Not
what
with
a
Mom,
mood.
just because I have bad judgment.
I don't retweet anything from the pod account because I
That's-
don't have the password.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Oh,
does
shit.
Miranda even have the pod account?
Hey, she does have the pod account password because we have our passwords in a shared password folder in an encrypted thingy thing.
That I don't have access
Is she
to.
shared on that?
I couldn't set up my thing,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't have any
So,
passwords.
so yes, this sounds like definitely our fault and not something she could have troubleshooted. Anyway.
I tried.
Oh.
It was very
Ugh.
trying.
It's really interesting though
my
because
God.
like, oh sorry, go ahead. I was going back to Star Wars.
Oh no.
Please go back
Oh.
to Star Wars.
so. I was just gonna say before we went on this yet another tangent.
Not us.
A tangent on my Book Wars pod?
Wild. So I was asking in the first episode, like, how does Qui-Gon get from, oh, these are just lovely metaphors, to, you know, point at which he finds space users, and he's like, yes, this. And Chris just kind of like wiggled his eyebrows at me a little bit, and it's just interesting because, you know, he has one crazy force vision dream thing, and he's just like, I'm utterly convinced. And meanwhile, the Jedi Order's like, oh, these aren't things, and they have fucking poor Sifo-Dyas locked up somewhere in the
Ugh.
temple, losing his marbles because they won't give him like treatment or whatever the fuck for managing his abilities. Like,
The Jedi
Jesus
are
Lord.
bad TM.
I know.
Over and over and over again.
Mine wasn't an actual point. I was
Oh.
just going to talk about how awkward it is because a year ago, you have to figure Liam Neeson would have been a shoo-in for a recurring cameo role on the Kenobi show. And now what do you do with that?
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
You
So
don't murder
awkward.
anyone. That would be my first takeaway.
Or feel
Don't.
like murdering anyone.
No,
or
or talk ever.
Or just be
Just don't
racist.
talk.
Like, don't be racist.
Don't be racist. Don't be racist. Don't talk. Stay off Twitter.
These
He
rules,
wasn't on
true.
Twitter, but
these
just
rules are really hard to follow.
Yeah, I mean,
but
honestly,
get them.
Every person who anybody has ever admired, just don't talk outside of whatever media you're in.
yeah, just don't have.
Don't
a
do press
personality, it's
tours.
fine. Don't do anything. Just do method acting
Stick
for the
to the
rest
cue
of your
cards.
life.
Oh my god.
Um,
Literally talking to you this weekend about how I hope that Lil Nas X never says anything problematic in his
I
fucking
know, right?
life. I love that man so much.
My fucking god! With the visual gag from the VMAs, if you don't know, what
That
I'm
was
talking
so
about, it's
good.
So funny. God, he's such a treasure. Anyway, I mean, like, I get. Oh, you're playing Two Dots. I was like, what is vibrating?
Sorry.
Stop playing Two Dots or turn the vibrating on the Two Dots.
Honestly,
I played Two Dots.
could not
Miranda.
tell who you were yelling at there.
I'll take it off the table.
No, it's because she's holding her phone. I was like, whose fucking phone is vibrating? It's Miranda's, and she's holding it against the desk with her hands. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm losing my mind. No one's phone is vibrating. No, it is.
Bruh,
Anyway,
don't turn the vibrate off. That just kills your battery, man.
She likes it.
Kate is literally playing Two Dots right now. Let it
Well,
be
I
known.
know, and sorry, Kate. I can't hear yours.
Yeah,
Yours
'cause
isn't
I
making
can't
noise.
remember.
You're always playing Two Dots. That's fine.
It literally
You make
am.
Kate makes the most coherent points on this podcast. I do not yell at Kate about points ever. She writes things in the outline. She writes discussion questions. She leads us through. She's still on the podcast for some reason. She's married to Chris. It's a lot of things.
It's true.
Love you,
Raising
Dad.
a hamster,
I know.
all things.
Perfect angel baby. Is he adjusting okay?
Yeah, he's good.
Good.
Yeah,
I bet he likes
know.
the mountains.
Yeah, we were cuddling yesterday on the couch, and then he emptied his entire face onto the couch, and then had to pick up all his kibbles and put them back in his cage.
Listen, I feel like that sometimes, but that means that he's like very relaxed. He trusts
Exactly.
you. Mhm.
Exactly.
I like it.
So it's good. It's good.
So what is interesting to me about this is like going back to Star Wars. Sorry,
Mhm.
this is not about hamsters. Unfortunately, I'm gonna try to make a point. But so like it's interesting because we get like Dooku losing his total fucking shit about the prophecies in this book
Yes.
and like not being able to handle them, but like we don't get details of that other than like a glimpse of, hey, maybe part of the maybe the prophecies are part of the reason Dooku went dark, because like he like was not he did not have a good. Sorry, I'm belching into the mic again. He did not have a good relationship, obviously. Like, when your Padawan comes in and he's like, oh, where's the prophecy? It's just been on your desk for the last 67 years, and you've just been looking at it, and your eyes turn red. I don't understand. So, like, we have that. We see that. And then we see, like, Qui-Gon, who's, like, trying to be reasonable. He's trying to somehow take the middle road, where he's, like, maybe they're like, he goes back and forth. Maybe they're true. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're metaphors. Maybe they're not. And then he has this force vision, and it comes true. And like, if I had a force vision and it came true like that, I'd also be like, I don't fucking know. Are all these force visions correct? Like, I don't know. Like, at least he has a reason to like be obsessed with the prophecies.
That's
Not that he wasn't before, but like, at least after you have a force vision that comes true, like. Duke didn't have that to our knowledge. Like,
right. That's a fair enough point. And, you know, to your point about we don't know about Dooku, it really does make me wonder if we are going to get more of his story, perhaps in once again in an audio medium, because that just kind of feels like a giant gaping detail that is left out of this book, especially because it's central.
I want more Dooku, and I want to know fucking what General Grievous is all about. Those are the two things that I'm like, very curious about still from this era. Like, honestly, I'm like,
how does General Grievous work?
I don't know. He has a lot of Rafflecopter lightsabers right inside of his cloak. He does.
A lot of Rafflecopter lightsabers. Oh my god, somebody else talk, because now I can't breathe.
No, but I think that's like, I mean, even you know, Qui-Gon's prophecy, it wasn't like word for word true, right? Like, he saw that, you know, some shit was gonna go down, but it's, even though it was very telling, I guess, I don't know. Like, it was still close enough where he was like, fuck. And like,
well, like, didn't everything that he saw come everything that he saw come true?
He just
didn't
interpreted it the
know
right way.
Yeah, he didn't interpret it correctly, but
and he says he thinks that he was meant to misinterpret it, which is fascinating. It's one of those, like, you know,
that's not how the Force works. What?
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like the Jedi were an organization, and they like, but they were also a religion, and it's one of those things where it's just, oh no, I was gonna say it gets my hackles up. I'm not sure about that, but it's always just me. It always makes me go just because of the way I was raised, and in case y'all forgot, 10 years of Catholic school, can't get that out of my system.
Yeah, it's interesting because obviously, like, Qui-Gon had this experience where he was shown a prophecy, and like he could just instinctively tell it was real, and that's one thing. But where I get concerned just looking at like the Jedi and looking at how one interprets the Force is assuming that every prophecy all that's written down, all the details are right. Like we talked about last week with mistranslations or whatever, that becomes a problem. But also the idea that you were meant to misinterpret it gets, if you dig even a little bit below the surface, that gets really sticky really quickly, because the two places that can lead are nothing matters anyway because everything is predetermined, and that leads to, potentially apathy or indecision or not trusting yourself. Or on the other side of the coin, you just become so full of yourself and you're like, well, whatever I decide to do, it's the will of the Force and it's what the Force wanted me to do. And it's like, no, I don't. That's also not how that works. And so I feel like Qui-Gon is an example of someone who is in kind of the Goldilocks spot with how he personally has experienced prophecies, but it does not feel very prescriptive as a way to handle them.
Mm-hmm. And Chris, I'm going to go ahead and you kind of touched on this in your like counterpoints, but when Qui-Gon talked about the fact that like he thinks he was meant to misinterpret it, I think that is him kind of leaning into like this is the will of the Force, but I don't see that as like a bad thing for him. I mean, obviously, like it can very easily lead him down the path of apathy and all of that, but what we've seen of him, he's very interested in like the more spiritual side of the Force, and I don't think he resigns himself to like, oh well, what's gonna happen is gonna happen. The Force wills it. It's like the Force wills this. It's like he's placing his trust in the Force.
I would love to see Qui-Gon and Chirrut in conversation. That would be so interesting.
Correct.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Into the mic, Christopher.
I'm tired.
Okay, great. Good talk.
Yep.
Kate, would you like to read us about PAX?
Yeah, dude.
Great.
First
if you
of
didn't
all,
listen to our episode last week, I think
No, I cut all that out.
Oh, okay, great. Never mind.
if you didn't listen to our episode last time, cool.
What are you doing here?
So first of Fox, I think I said it during the first episode. I was just like waiting for this entire book for Pax and Rahara to kiss, and it happened off screen. Kiss. Oh my god. Which frustrating, but it happened, so that's fine, and that is happy. But one of the things I know that we all kind of wanted to talk about, and Chris brought this up, was readings of Pax's upbringing and his, I guess, mannerisms and demeanor. And Chris, I think you're not the first person to suggest that Pax has been written as having characteristics kind of reminiscent of folks on the autism spectrum. And, as much as I love seeing more neurodivergence in Star Wars, and I want to make perfectly clear, I don't think any of us know whether Claudia Gray intended him to be read that way or whatever, so I'm not ascribing, any intentions to her. But I do want to at least briefly talk about how that is a really problematic reading, honestly, of Pax's character. And that's because there are a lot of stereotypes and like there's lots of stigma around autism. Like stigma around autism is what created fucking anti-vaxxers, so great. And one of the probably more, I guess, popular or prevalent ideas is that people with autism they have no empathy, they have no feelings, and it's just because they have trouble reading facial expressions and social cues, and that's often a symptom of autism. But the fact that Pax was like raised by robots, he was raised by droids, and so he acts like them, obviously, because he was raised by them for like however many fucking years. yeah, it's problematic to associate like autism spectrum disorders with roboticism, because what do we think of when we think of robots? They are, they have no feelings. They are just like pre-programmed. They don't care about anything. It's just, don't do it. It's very bad. I don't know. Again, I don't know whether Claudia Gray intended for this to be the reading. But if she did, that wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, potentially a rare misstep by Claudia Gray.
So don't do that, y'all.
And
Probably not a misstep by Claudia Gray.
It's probably a
I mean,
misstep
I
by
don't-
people reading. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was gonna say.
I mean, that's true,
I'm
but
the
enough
one
people
who
have.
I'm the one who wrote yes. So like,
I mean, I was the one who put it down in the first place.
Yeah.
So like,
So
'cause
me and
I
Chris are
absolutely
trash.
read it like that. Like, I feel like probably not intended as a misstep by Claudia Gray. Potentially a misstep in how it was interpreted, because that's really what the end result is. It's interesting. I do wonder. I would love to, and we'll probably never find out. But I would love to know what her thinking around Pax was. Because honestly, as I was reading it, this was kind of an issue for me, because I just had a lot of trouble with Pax as a character, because that was, I don't know, there was just something off about the way he was written. And some of it was this, but some of it, I just really didn't connect with him, which is rare for a Claudia Gray character. Like I was telling Kate off pod, Pax Norihara just did nothing for me in this book.
no talking off pod. Sorry.
Well, we have to talk about something.
Which I really disagree with, because like I liked Pax a lot.
I
and
like
maybe
both
that's-
of them a lot. I
Yeah.
connected with them a lot, but maybe that's just me.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely did, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because Pax and I both really fucking hate people.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to know what the intent was behind that. I'd love to know if we'll see Pax or Rehara again.
I wouldn't be mad.
No, that'd be good.
No,
Be interested to
I-
see what they're up
I would
to.
love that.
You guys are gonna get mad at me for even asking this question, just because this is my memory is balls.
Are you
and
going to ask
know
us how old Pax is?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna ask what was the other thing that we read that had like the Jedi proof facet of it?
Thrawn alliances.
Oh, I should
Oh, yeah,
fucking know that.
that's a different
Fuck me up.
It's fine.
I'm sorry.
that's
I
a
need to
different
just-
material.
Well, I know, but it was a similar concept.
It's a popular
Oh, sorry.
idea.
I
Yeah.
did not mean to mansplain that to
Oh,
you. I
no, no,
apologize.
I-
I thought that was your question.
Oh no, sorry.
But no, that's
no,
my bad.
my question was, what was it in? I remember the concept and don't remember it, and I should know that because he's my blue boyfriend.
Yep.
Blue.
For listeners who haven't read Thrawn Alliances or don't remember that particular detail,
Thank
The
you for
material-
seeing me.
the material in this that is blocking lightsabers are colon crystals. The material in
LMAO.
Thrawn Alliances aren't blocking the kyber crystals and aren't unique to kyber crystals. They're just like, they shut off energy.
They
So-
disrupt it, right?
yeah, they like short circuit it,
Right.
essentially. And that is cortosis.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You're
Dad.
very welcome.
Now you know.
Yeah, I was like, I know this is from something that I should know, and I can't wait to make Kate and Chris angry. Who wrote Rahara is so good I want to hug her? Was that your point, Miranda?
No, but I second that motion.
Kristen, I'm
Oh.
pretty sure
Do you-
that was you.
Do you think I looked
Oh,
at this outline
great.
before?
That was me. She is so good and I love her.
Yes.
Welcome. I've had 2 severe concussions in a relatively short time frame. This
Oh
is
my
part
God.
of why
Oh,
I
Lord.
can't remember anything. Great.
Cool.
Privilege of birth, choice, and responsibility is 0.5. Should we talk about that?
Yeah, Chris. This being
Yeah, I
one-
can.
Other than
I
the
was just
Jedi are
looking to see if we
bad.
were heavy. So there's a discussion on board the Merricks. It's the ship, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, the Merricks. Between
Oh my god,
Rhaenyra.
Chris asked a question.
You love to see it.
Sorry. You never ask questions. You always know the answers.
Where's the air horn, Kristen?
Oh, sorry.
pow,
I'm looking
pow.
at dog
Jesus.
leashes. Sorry.
Oh
Uh,
my god.
there's a
Listen.
discussion on board the Merrick's between Rhaenyra and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon about the privilege of birth and whether choice exists and how responsibility fits in. And Qui-Gon says something about how Fanry is kind of trapped in her role as princess, which that statement doesn't really age well toward the end of this book. But his point being, yes, her life is different and it's pampered, but she didn't choose this. And Rhaenyra kind of feels like that's bullshit because she's like, I would have loved to have not chosen living in a palace.
Can't relate. Sorry. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan kind of related it, and I think Pax brought this up too, related it to the Jedi. And Obi-Wan was like super offended. And he's like, of course we have a choice. And Qui-Gon's like, do we though?
Mm-hmm. See, I think that obviously they don't have, you don't choose to be born a princess or a slave or
white people.
white people
Ugh.
or with fucking
Sorry,
force ass powers, right? And so Fanry got shoved into her role. Rhaenyra got shoved into her role. The Jedi got fucking stolen away from their families. I think that choice and the responsibility that these characters impose upon themselves are more important than that. Because we see in other places, you look at Brea, you look at Leia and Bale, this is the whole Organa clan. They've got a nice life, right? And they use their privilege for the greater, galaxy. They want to make it a better place. Whereas, Fanry's not making the best choices in this. There's a point here somewhere. Hopefully I'm getting to it.
Well, they have,
Well, I could-
they have really good wine on that
They do.
planet.
They have
So
excellent
that
Turquoise.
helps.
Well, no, it's just there is a privilege, and I think some of the things that we see in this is Fanry doesn't understand her privilege because she's coming from that place of privilege, and she has no real interactions with Pajal. Is that the name of the planet?
Yeah, you got it.
Ooh,
I think they say Pygel.
Pygel.
Yeah.
She has no interactions outside of her palace really on Pygel. So she doesn't really understand that or I guess to the degree that her life is different than other people's on her planet. Whereas you look at somebody like Rhaenyra, who was born a slave, to Circa Corporation, and she's like, fuck this. I didn't ask for this, and she can see the privilege that other people have. And again, I'm talking to a point that I don't know what it is, but
No, that's a good point.
So
waiting for
all
somebody
right.
to kick flick off it.
So a couple things brought up a couple things that I kind of want to pull out more, I guess. So, and also extending my salty ass aside that actually I think is relevant here. So it really it kind of I see Rhaenyra's point because it really kind of does feel like those instances where folks are just like, well, it's not my fault that I'm white and other people are black and
I didn't enslave anyone.
I know.
Shit.
And it kind of feels like that, right? Because, Fanry, sure, she was born a princess, but she could have just rage quit whenever she wanted. Jedi get to rage quit the order if they really want to. Nobody stops them from doing so. Rhaenyra basically had to fucking cut off her hand to stop being what she was.
Yeah.
Which is only a little bit different.
Not great.
And Yeah, I think what you're saying about the royalty on Alderaan versus the royalty on Pygel is like really relevant because again, it's an awareness thing and it's a I don't know, sharing a resources thing, and you can that only comes with awareness of the fact that you actually are really lucky and not fucking being oppressed just because you were raised by a Jedi, which is apparently a conclusion that Fanry has come to, which is a choice. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have nothing to add to that because it was a great point. I have a related point that a different angle from which I'm going to kickflip off of Miranda's point.
Oh, Jesus.
So about the Jedi, because you kind of see Qui-Gon have this evolution, because in this conversation he talks about how the Jedi don't have a choice, but then with Rael he talks about choosing the light. And
I'm like getting this tattoo.
it's a really good quote.
It's so good.
Why is she
It's
like
like
this?
the only
I know.
I like don't want to get words tattooed on me just because like not my style. Can't remember anything. I'm useless. And I like read that the first time and was like, oh my god, I want that.
Like, I'm so glad she's doing Project Luminous. Anyway, but to me, this question is actually, if you go deep enough, kind of a really good indicator of what's wrong with the Jedi Order. Like, he starts off with his probably more traditional view that the Jedi don't have a choice. They're just Jedi. And I feel like that is a very, like we talked about Rael and apathy, like that's a very apathetic position. Like, oh, guess I have to get up and fight crime today. Like, you're not doing it for the greater good. You're not even necessarily doing it for your own fulfillment or for the Force. You're doing it because you're doing it. And there is no greater reason why. And that's why the Jedi kind of lose their moral authority and just become this glorified police force. And
Goddamn cops.
yep. And by the end of it, you have him talking about choosing the light because it is the light. And now I'm thinking about The Last Jedi with Luke and Rey, where Luke started this Jedi Academy because he felt like he had to, and then felt like he couldn't do it anymore because it was too much pressure. And then you have Rey, who doesn't care about the strict dogma. It doesn't care about what the Jedi of old would have done. Just sees something wrong and wants to fix it. And I feel like that choice and that willingness to be not even flexible, but just not so rigid in your beliefs that you don't have a choice to like keep your free thinking is really key to the morality of the Jedi.
Lol, morality of the Jedi. Sorry.
It's funny because the Jedi are bad. TM.
Sorry.
I'm so excited for Rise of Skywalker, y'all.
Same.
There's so many ways they could screw it up, and I hope they don't, but I'm really excited.
If you hear bloody murder in the background, it's my dog.
Tater Tot.
He is doing whatever it is that noise is. Squeaking? Screeching?
Could be both.
Something. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's fine. This is heavy already, as per us talking about nothing for 15 minutes. Did we have anything else that we wanted to absolutely cover now?
This baby.
Do you hear him?
It sounds not,
okay.
and it sounds like Jasper wants his mom. So
No, I think Quinn may have put him in the crate.
AKA,
AKA, it's gonna be. He does great. Actually, it's gonna be like 5 minutes into this and he'll fall asleep. So
well, there you go.
it's fine.
I wish I could.
Sorry,
Anyway, we'll end
everyone.
it here.
We're not torturing our dog. We've literally given him every luxury in the world. He just hates hearing our voices and being in the crate at the same time. So
Yep.
Oh.
it'd be like that.
It's a
Mm.
soft
Our
boy.
next episode, which will be our 100th episode.
Oh my god.
God. the
We'll be
fuck?
wrapping up Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. Our next book after that is going to be Lords of the Sith by Paul S. Kemp. So you've got some time to order that, from your local indie bookstore, get it from your library, etc. In the meantime, hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at BookWarsPod. Email us, bookwarspod@gmail.com. And rate, review, and subscribe to us and the Tashi Station Radio mega feed on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, on Google Play, wherever podcasts are sold. It is really the best way to help people discover the show and get revenge on people you don't like.
Revenge of the Sith.
If you have the means and are so inclined, please donate to the Tashi Station Radio Patreon and give us coffee at ko-fi.com/bookwarspod for more pork chop picks. And if Kristen and Miranda are willing, probably some Jasper picks too.
Yes, we have no picture. We have taken no pictures of the dog.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Our theme song is Whiz Bang by Poddington Bear. Our logo and artwork are by Joe Butera Design. We switched up our audio a little bit with our intro and exit music, so let's know if it's working for you or not.
Fucking.
And that. For Kate, Kristen, and Miranda, and Jasper, I'm Chris. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Book Wars Pod, and we'll talk to you next week.
It's mostly Jasper.
Other people should try it.
Raccoons!
Oh my god.
Oh!